proud partner of Major League Soccer.
Out they come in front of close to 70,000 at Mercedes-Benz Stadium, many wearing the 5 stripes, the red and the black of Atlanta United. A stadium used to big games, playoff matches. Brad Guzan has been here for all of them in this club's history. Will there be more in Atlanta United's 2024 playoff run? Or is this it for the Cinderellas, and will Inter Miami move on? We'll find out tonight, and when we come back, statistically, a dominating performance from Inter Miami in match 1. The score was a lot closer than maybe it should have been because of Brad Guzan's 8 saves. Miami also had 1 shot cleared off the line. Rubio Vasquez is the referee in charge today. This is his 20th MLS match this season, including the playoffs. He's had his FIFA badge since 2020. Chris Penso, the video assistant referee in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. So here we go. Lionel Messi's second playoff appearance. Wearing the heritage kits, Miami Dolphin inspired. In this beautiful building of Mercedes-Benz Stadium, Game 2 is underway between Atlanta United and Inter Miami. Inter Miami with a 1-0 series lead after taking match 1 2-1. If Inter Miami wins tonight, the series is over. Inter Miami becomes the second team that is qualified for the conference semifinals. If Atlanta United win tonight, including in a penalty shootout, the series would shift back to South Florida for a pivotal Game 3, a determinative Game 3 next week. Taylor, did anything from Game 1 change your thoughts about this series as a whole?
No, but I think in the back of the mind, the seed was planted from Brad Guzan that Atlanta United are not going to go down without a fight. The fact that he played arguably his best big game in his MLS career at the age of 40, Messi was frustrated with it. They created chances, 22 shots, 8 of those Brad had a saying, but for Atlanta United, the only way they advance, they've got to be a threat going the other way. I'm not sure they have one tonight.
There's Diego Gomez for Inter Miami. Suarez and Jordi Alba. Took about 90 seconds for Inter Miami to open the scoring in Game 1. Here's Lionel Messi. David Martinez. Aviles to Redondo. Weigant. Heavy possession from Inter Miami to begin this Game 2. Not unexpected given these two teams. Jordi Alba wins a throw. Jordi Alba, the star for Miami in Game 1. An assist on their opening goal, and then the game-winning goal in the 60th minute, a spectacular strike from distance. Messi, oh, it's open for Weigant down the right side. Has Jordi Alba on the back post. Jordi Alba just out of his reach.
Well, and it's going to be difficult tonight for the 3 in the back of Atlanta United because Messi's going to pull you out of position. So Abraham's going to slide in here, and that is very important from Miami that Weigant or whoever's on the right side fills in the gaps. But because Weigant makes that run, Alba's on the back post. All of it is about the back 3 of Atlanta not getting caught following Messi into the midfield. Difficult start here for Atlanta United.
Given away, Suarez shifting, it's Suarez! Just over. He's claiming there was a touch. It's a goal kick for Atlanta.
Well, I felt the same way Luis Suarez did. I felt like Brad Guzan got a little bit of a touch on it. But my word, the last thing you want to do if you're Atlanta United is really turn the ball over right in front of your goal, right in front of the back line, and ask more from your goalkeeper that has stood on his head in the last 3 do-or-die games for Atlanta United.
Now Atlanta's first move forward. Lobjanidze into Schlich. He just trips over himself. Gives it back to Miami. The team lineups are presented by RBC Wealth Management. A couple injuries for Rob Valentino. Brooks Lennon, who left game one with a shoulder injury. Turned out that he needed surgery. He'll be out for 4 to 6 months, so of course not available today. Stian Gregerson also left in the first half for Atlanta. He was able to make it back to being available but not start. He's on the bench for Rob Valentino today. In towards Lobjanidze, controlled by Martinez. And for Inter Miami, no Sergio Busquets, fell ill during the week. Noah Allen comes in. Now, you would think Noah Allen would be set up as a left center back, but he is a like-for-like replacement to begin this match for Sergio Busquets as in the middle, in between David Martinez and Tomas Aviles. Those were the team lineups presented by RBC Wealth Management.
Because Martinez is naturally left-footed.
Sure.
Also, in the last couple of games, we've seen Martinez have the capabilities to step into the midfield with the ball at his feet and then kind of jumpstart an attack, especially against a team that's going to be in a low block. However, that can evolve very quickly.
Sure.
And if Noah Allen's going to be tested for pace with Chare up front, then it wouldn't surprise me whatsoever if Tata Martino switches that up. But Noah Allen in the middle says something to Atlanta United. If you're Jamal Chare, I'm going to stand right on Noah Allen and make sure that for pace or any kind of counter-attacking opportunity, I've got him one-on-one.
Big responsibilities for a 20-year-old homegrown kid in Noah Allen, right? Both organizationally, defensively, and starting possession. I mean, when it's Busquets there, it all runs through him.
Yeah, but he was the USL League One Player of the Year, and he was as a wide player. And the biggest surprise for Tata Martino, with all the names and all the stars, are players like Noah Allen and others that have filled the gaps. Noah Allen has surprised me, playing in 3, 4 in the back, whatever it is, but he's got great natural instincts in defending moments. Big test today for the young player.
Allen steps up, takes it away from Chare, but he fouls Chare in the process. Atlanta play quick. Schleich. Lobjanidze out wide. Saba cutting inside. And then gives it away to Jordi Alba under pressure. Martinez just dumps it forward. Dax McCarty. McCarty starting a second straight match, the 37-year-old. He announced his retirement a few months ago. This could be his last ever game. Rob Valentino giving him a chance to take the most control over that.
They need his experience tonight, his leadership. He's played in so many big games because they need to rely on Fortune and Schleich having the ability to maybe be a little bit more aggressive for Rob Valentino stepping into the attack. Rob Valentino needs someone to join Moranchuk out of the midfield. He cannot just rely on Moranchuk and Chare without Lennon on the field to be any kind of threat. So that falls on the shoulders of Schleich or Fortune.
Interim manager Rob Valentino has taken Atlanta on this Cinderella run from a team in 12th place on decision day. They could have even been eliminated in the penultimate match of the season, to now here going up against Lionel Messi and Inter Miami. As Messi comes forward, McCarty broke it up, but it'll be the first corner kick of this game 2 of this round 1 best of 3 series. His 33rd playoff match. Dax McCarty, Brad Kazan, he has started all now 16 Atlanta United playoff games in their club history.
Yeah, this is where if Atlanta United defend this in a real solid way and structure, they may be able to find a counterattacking opportunity here, but it's got to rely on defending the second ball when it's dealt with initially inside the 18.
Marcelo Weigand is over this corner. He has Messi about 10 yards to his left. He plays it to Messi. Messi will drive it in. Kazan will come and catch comfortably.
Lobojanice's on.
Yeah, Kazan wants to go quickly, and he does send it forward for Saba, but too far.
Yeah, but why not? You know the team you're going up against is very good with the ball at their feet, and yet they struggle in transition. That is exactly what Brad Kazan was thinking about with Lobojanice running 60 yards away.
Saba Lobojanice has been the star for Atlanta in this fixture. 4 goals in 3 games against Inter Miami, including one in game 1. Starting tonight as the right wing back. He's out of position in this moment still after that corner. What do you make of that decision and specifically his responsibilities and his role tonight?
It's not a decision. You have to do that when Brooks Lennon is out with the injury, and that's unfortunate, I think, for Rob Valentino in Atlanta. Because Brooks Lennon and this team in Atlanta, they cross the ball more than any team in the league, and Brooks Lennon is a huge part of that. Without him on the field, Lobojanice has to defend deeper, play deeper. It takes away an attacking option for Atlanta going forward. Fortune's really impressed me early in his career of not being too shy of the moment, being very aggressive, winning 50-50 balls, really putting Wigant and Inter Miami in a bad spot there.
He has kept Tristan Muyumba off the field. Took advantage of an opportunity, the 21-year-old homegrown, and has kept that starting spot now. An 8th straight match in Rob Valentino's starting 11, 14 of the last 15. And he draws a free kick for Atlanta United 10 minutes into this match. Pedro Amador. Sends this to the back post. Nobody's there for Atlanta United. And Tata Martino, he's back in Mercedes-Benz Stadium in the playoffs. He led Atlanta United to the 2018 MLS Cup in this building in front of 73,000 fans.
I asked him his first game back after leaving Atlanta, did he go into the wrong locker room? And he looked right at me and he said, maybe.
Oh, this building was electric. It was a fortress, particularly in that 2018 season. In 2017, Tata's first year when it opened mid-season, and in the playoffs. And they used that. They used this crowd.
Oh, they went for it like no other, Jake. And I know exactly where you're going. The first 3 years, this was a difficult place to come get points, let alone victories. They lost 8 of their first 58 games in this building. In their last 58, they've lost 16. This is no longer a home field advantage for Atlanta United, and teams know that, and they know that if you can frustrate them, take the anxiety from the game and put it into the stadium tonight, especially with 68,000. Inter Miami knows, having scored more goals than anyone on the road, as long as they absorb the right pressure and bring anxiety to the crowd, it's going to work against Atlanta United eventually.
Atlanta's only lost 1 playoff match in this building. It was the 2019 Eastern Conference Final to Toronto FC. They also fell in a shootout to Columbus in 2017. But there's precedence for them winning even in this type of situation. Last year, Game 2 of the Round 1 Best-of-3 series against eventual MLS Cup winners Columbus Crew, Atlanta won 4-2 to force a Game 3 back in Ohio. And Atlanta wins a corner, now 13 minutes into this match. Alexei Miranchuk to serve for Atlanta. He might get another chance, and he does. Dangerous spot. Oh, it was missed by Hernandez. And Callender will pounce. It was Abram, rather, who had the opportunity for Atlanta.
Oh.
Wonderful ball into Messi, who brings it down, and Redondo.
Messi could be in a crowd of 72,000, and somehow Alba will find his feet.
Time and time again. This time Messi trying to find Wigant. Doesn't make it there, and Kazan will collect. Atlanta has done relatively well against Lionel Messi this season. Now in a 3rd match against a fourth match tonight against him. He has 1 goal and 1 assist in the previous 3. Now, for most players, that's really good production against an opponent. For Lionel Messi, it's well below his norm.
You know, without Busquets in the lineup tonight, they could be aggressive, Inter Miami, particularly in the midfield, because they've got young legs, they've got range, they've got a real ability to be aggressive. Right here on cue, Yannick Bright. Sloppy tackle there from Dax McCarty.
They think it's clean. Rubio Vasquez disagrees.
I mean, it's a wonderful ball in from Moranchuk that Abraham initially should have done better with, and then Wagan headed off. But this is what I'm talking about. Look at where Messi is. That's 6 red jerseys around Alba and Messi, and yet it's that kind of ball with that kind of touch and direction that gets Miami out of it. I'm not kidding. 72,000 could be in the building. He'll find them.
Everybody knows that as well, but so few can stop it.
There's only about 300,000 hours of game tape of those two playing together, and yet still they find a way.
McCarty breaks it up. He's called for a foul.
Dax McCarty claiming he won the ball, almost identical to what Yannick Bright did to him about 30 seconds ago. Good on the referee to not give a yellow to either one of them.
Some words between a couple 37-year-olds who've seen a lot in this game.
Well, remember, Dax McCarty was really good for Nashville in that Leagues Cup final a year ago. He's going to have to be as good, if not better, tonight if Atlanta want to force a game 3.
Fortune is down. Miami is going to play on. And now put it out of play.
And Fortune's just going to come in a little late on this, but it almost looks like he rolls his ankle. I mean, what's going on in the mind of Rob Valentino right now? It changed the complexion of this entire thing when Brooks Lennon went down. Great defensive play in the moment, hurt his shoulder. Then immediately after that, Gregerson with his hamstring. And the problem is Muyumba and the players that are available to play that position, Jake, I don't think they're 70 minutes fit, which is part of the reason why he's rolling out the same group of players time and time again. Keep an eye on Fortune over the next, I would say, 2 or 3 minutes here to see if he can continue.
He's going to try. 21 minutes into game 1. Brooks Lennon came out with a shoulder injury that ended up needing surgery. 13 minutes later, Stian Gregerson came out with a hamstring injury that has him day-to-day and available, but just off the bench for this match. And now, their young central midfielder rolling his ankle. Off to the side, getting treatment. Inter Miami will temporarily be up a man. Gomez. Jordi Alba. Diego Gomez. Flicking it back in. Redondo there. Abraham first to it. He sends it away for a Miami throw.
Yeah, but that's where Abraham's got to be massive tonight. You lose the attacking quality of Brooks Lennon. Now you go to 3 in the back. At times it's going to look like 5, particularly in the moment right now when Miami get so many numbers forward and possess and rotate you side to side. The good reading of that play in the space in behind from Williams. Abraham's got to be big tonight.
Jordi Alba clipping it in. Not on the same page with Diego Gomez. Moranchuk, Lobjanitse. Back towards Moranchuk. He wanted it to his feet. Lobjanitse didn't get it right.
Yeah, and that's where part of the progression, I think, and evolution of Miranchuk and MLS has got to happen for 2025. He's not the most athletic. He's not going to run by you, but very technical. And so Lobjanidze, who's technical but very explosive, dynamic into space, needs to understand in that moment that ball's got to be played into the feet of Miranchuk so Atlanta United can get out of their own end.
Atlanta spent a reported $13 million to sign Alexei Miranchuk from Atalanta in Serie A this summer. 3 goals, 1 assist in 9 games in the regular season.
Oh, another example. Bram, you win the ball. Can you find the feet of your center forward and try to get Miami to defend in transition?
Redondo to Messi. Martinez. Gomez. Bright and Redondo. Jay Fortune back on the pitch for Atlanta. Redondo. Weigant hesitated. Amador will see this out for a goal kick. Player Spotlight is presented by Allstate. You are in good hands. 71 career saves in the playoffs. 8 of those came in game 1. Will Atlanta need another one of those performances tonight to have any hope of extending their season?
Yes, but you and I were in this building in early March, and we didn't even know if Brad Guzan would be the #1 at the end of the year. Yet he started 32 games in the season, which is the most he has started in regular season since 2019. And yet in the last 3 games, all on the road, all do or die, 22 saves. The old man River has turned into Benjamin Button right before us in about 6 days' time.
Wonderful article on MLSsoccer.com right now. Charles Bohm talking to Brad Guzan as this is sent over the top towards Chare, dealt with by Alan Schleich, trying to bring it down, and now it's Aviles. And Guzan spoke about coming into the season not knowing if he would be the starter this year as well. They signed Josh Cohen in the offseason, and he said, I embrace that competition. It makes me better, it makes the team better. He won that competition, and he's been fantastic for Atlanta in the playoffs. Here's Messi for Miami towards Suarez. McCarty clears it away.
That's right. Good recovery from Dax, Jake. Pardon me. It's just that Dax gave the ball away there. He knew it. He had to recover. Provide that little extra defender in those little moments there. Good on Dax McCarty to recover after the mistake.
Jordi Alba again picks out Messi. Abraham defending. It's still Messi. Still somehow Messi. Now Gomez back in. Oh! Just wide of the near post from Messi, and still scoreless.
Boy, he's smiling because he didn't score, but at least Brad Guzan didn't make a save the way he did in the first game. Messi was all over the field. He had 8 shots. 5 of those point-blank range at times, from distance, whatever it was. Brad had his number. But Messi grown into the game here for Miami going forward. It's interesting, right? You see Inter Miami without Busquets, their defensive structure is more aggressive. It's higher up the field. And I say that because naturally you're not defending with Suarez and Messi. Naturally, those are bystanders. You just set it up. And then look, Williams can take 2 touches. He's by 2 defenders. But they want to give the look because they've got an aggressive midfield that you've got to be perfect in possession. And at times, Atlanta United have not been so.
You can catch MLS Countdown and La Previa tomorrow, 4 p.m. Eastern, prior to a slate of the final 3 game 2s in these round 1 best-of-3 series. Watch it all on MLS Season Pass. Lobjanidze into the middle. That's Noah Allen, Busquets' replacement today, sending it out for a throw. McCarty didn't get the right height on that. It's to Weigant. And now Miami can possess. But this is the flip side of it, of not having Busquets, isn't it, Taylor? In these moments where Tata Martino said, I like Busquets as a center back, says he likes Busquets as center back because he likes how he gets them out of defensive situations, right? How he distributes. You don't have that now. Probably okay, right, without it. But what changes in their build-up without Busquets?
Yeah, but I think I speak for Inter Miami fans when I say, okay, you like Busquets as a center back, but how many goals have we given up when Busquets plays as a center back? Atlanta's tying goal in the first game Busquets is the one that kept Lobjanidze on side.
Jordi Alba, a lot of room, cutting it into the middle. It was behind Gomez, looking for Suarez, but two Atlanta defenders were there to deal with it. Now, can Atlanta get out in these transition moments? Moranchuk right up the middle. Might fall to Chare. Allen there first. Wonderful defensive work for Noah Allen. Corner coming for Atlanta.
What a big test tonight for the 20-year-old. Noah Allen playing in the middle, dealing with the pace of Chare. Fortunate for Moranchuk, there's a little bit of a deflection that gets Chare in behind. But great reaction from Noah Allen. Real good instincts in those moments. He's quick and he can run in space. Good defending in that moment from Inter Miami.
Atlanta goes short on the corner. Lobjanidze gets it back. Lobjanidze floating Moranchuk. His header was right at Weigand. Amador Williams just wide. Atlanta knocking.
Well, while they're missing Brooks Lennon tonight down the right, they are not missing anything with Amador down the left. He is really good at delivering that final ball. I love this set piece. Congested, play a short corner. And that comes perfect to Moranchuk, who heads this. It's in the back of the net, except for the forehead of Weigand. And yet, look at the second phase. Great ball in here. Williams wins it. That's a sign of things to come for Atlanta United if they can get Amador into the attacking third. That is a brilliant left-footed ball whipped in from Amador, who's already got 2 assists in the playoffs.
Caught up in Chare's feet. Now Jordi Alba with a ton of room down this left side. Suarez back to Martinez. Messi, defended by Fortune. Weigand, Redondo, Yannick Bright, and Martinez. Atlanta defending deep. Jordi Alba serving. Again, it's a Prom. Yeah, he defends it really well. It was Gomez, and it's out for a corner.
But you see why I said in the pregame why they need Redondo and Bright to be balanced, because Gomez is really good at making these runs coming out of the midfield from outside to in. Just great natural instincts of timings of those runs. That's why so many Premier League teams are all over Diego Gomez. But again, Abram in the right spot at the right time, defending in that moment. So far, so good from the Atlanta United defender.
Again, the corner short to Messi. Now Jordi Alba. Back to Lionel Messi. Cuts inside. Finds the feet of Gomez. Left for Messi. It's Weigand. Clipping it back towards Jordi Alba. Leaves it for Gomez. Gomez trying to find Jordi Alba. Read well by Hernandez. Now into space for Lobjanidze. Here he comes. Has Chare in the middle. Right defending. Still Lobjanidze into the middle. Allen there, and he sends it away. Atlanta play quick. Saba Lobjanidze. Moranchuk from distance!
Oh my goodness.
Drake Callender! What a save! Moranchuk scored one of the goals of the season in September against Miami in this building.
If Orishano's not playing in MLS, Moranchuk wins MLS Goal of the Year for that finish he had in September. And that is as good of a strike as we saw in this building. Little bit of a deflection off Redondo, but how about that save from Drake Callender? If they're going to win MLS Cup and back up the Supporter Shield, Drake Callender has to come up big when he's asked to. Big time save from the Miami goalie.
Another corner for Atlanta. They've grown into this match. They've been really threatening over the past 5 or 10 minutes. Nobody there on the end of Lobjanidze's corner. Moranchuk will chase it down. Now he will serve. Makes its way to Chare. Still Chare. And blocked, and another corner.
Well, Jordi Alba a little frustrated right now. It's second phase defending on set pieces that are causing a little bit of a headache for Inter Miami. They've dealt with the first ball well, but the second ball is finding its way through. A ton of that teal green defending from Inter Miami. Fortunate enough, deflected wide.
Lobjanidze again served in and cleared by Miami. Again, only as far as Miranchuk. Clipped in over everybody. Goal kick. The player comparison is presented by Celsius, official energy drink partner of MLS. A couple guys working the midfield today. Dax McCarty, Federico Redondo.
Well, and it's less about passing accuracy for me from Dax McCarty and more so just being the metronome for this team emotionally, but also being in the right spots, right times to clean things up. Redondo, it's very important. They're without Busquets. Does he have any impact to the game? We haven't seen a ton from Redondo at all here.
Lobjanidze looking for Chare. Callender coming 10 yards off his line to catch. Rob Valentino wanted his team on the field to provide energy for the 68,000 in the stands. They are beginning to do that. But now, the play has been stopped and brought back. And the boos come from the crowd at Mercedes-Benz.
Well, what Jordi Alba's arguing is why is the whistle being blown 10 seconds after the play? It's difficult, right? Because Redondo feels the player coming on. He's holding him off. The right hand, that's a difficult one for me. There's no intent there whatsoever. He's trying to hold off to the defender. And initially, I think everyone in the building thought he would blow the whistle, and he didn't for about 8-9 seconds. That's why Messi and Alba are wondering, why wasn't it blown right away? And fortunate enough for Atlanta, because Miami were going the other way.
Instead, it's a set piece now for Atlanta United. Rob Valentino can tell his center backs to come forward, Williams and DeProm. And it's another chance for an Atlanta team that have been knocking on the door for the past 10 minutes. Big save from Drake Callender a few minutes ago.
Keep an eye on Abram on this back post. Drake Callender's got to be aggressive coming off his line here.
Miranchuk short to McCarty. Wright does really well to close that down. Now Messi. Can Miami go in transition? That's given away. It's a throw for Atlanta.
You're looking at me in the booth. You know what I'm going to say about that set piece. You cannot bring everybody forward and then waste it. You cannot waste it because you're fortunate enough that you lose the ball in that moment and you don't have a ton of verticality on the other team. But if they did, it's a different story. You cannot waste those few opportunities you get to punish Miami.
I always imagine what the center backs will say when they get back to the locker room in those situations, right? After going all the way up there and don't even get a ball served into the 18. But it have been Atlanta United on the front foot as this first half has gone on. Forcing a great save out of Drake Callender, missing just wide on a header. Options for Tata Martino if he needs them. This is Luis Suarez. All Miami need typically are one moment. Is it here? Oh, Suarez the nutmeg, but he can't get it back. Clearance only as far as Redondo. Gomez. Martinez and Jordi Alba. Suarez left it for Messi. Gets it to Weigant. Messi again. David Martinez stepping forward, trying it, and over.
Just great work from Luis Suarez. Amazing. Beginning of the year, very few people, including myself, thought he would even get through the entire regular season, and yet here he is, an MVP candidate.
25 goals, all competitions. Inter Miami's leading scorer this season. if there was a question of...
It's been a long time
Yeah.
since this building has sounded like this.
And a question of the ratio of red and black to pink in this building
buddy.
tonight? Nah, it is 68,000 strong for the five stripes. Here comes Messi getting behind DeBrom. Messi cutting inside and then back and then floating it in all the way across, nobody there. Jordi Alba tried to get it to Suarez. Hernandez broke it up, wins the throw. His first start in this building. Last year, Atlanta hosted Miami in September. Lionel Messi didn't make the trip. Earlier this year in September, he came off the bench, played the last half hour or so in what was a wild and open game. Different now in the playoffs, in the postseason. Miranchuk, just too much pace on that ball.
Messi owns this building. You know why? They've had SEC college football games here. They've had college national championship football games here. Taylor Swift, Kanye West, whatever it is. Lionel Messi owns the largest gate. Well, Argentina does in Copa America, but make no mistake about it, it's because Lionel Messi played in that game this year. The opening game of Copa America was the largest gate this building has ever seen.
I should have clarified his first start in this building for Inter Miami. Yes, he has been here before to massive crowds and adoring supporters. But unlike that night, now the fans are against him and against his team as Atlanta United tries to stay alive in the Audi 2024 MLS Cup playoffs. Fortune with room in the midfield. Amador out wide. Back to McCarty. Dax has time. Floats it to Lobjanidze. Isolated with Alba. Miranchuk gets it wrong.
You just get the sense, 36 minutes in, it's a do-or-die game that you got to win. Lobjanidze's got to be pushed forward a little bit more. And I know it's difficult because Brooks Lennon's not healthy, but you just wonder, as Rob Valentino is talking to his staff right in the moment and motioning to where Saba is, I just wonder, do you go to four in the back play? Hernandez is the right back play, Amador's the left, and allow their number 9 to be a little bit more influential going forward to support Miranchuk in moments like these.
It is an 11 that can easily be shifted to
Agreed.
that if Rob Valentino chooses to do so. Are they at that point?
I think halftime will be the point where you got to roll the dice a little bit. With the lineup that's on the field right now for Inter Miami, there is zero verticality coming from them. So if you high press, you keep a high structure, you press them, you force them without Busquets. They don't really have the metronome to get them out of that pressure. I'd roll the dice a little bit.
Miranchuk behind Lobjanidze and another giveaway. One more match tonight, and it's a big one in Minnesota. Minnesota United hosting Real Salt Lake. Minnesota United, one of 2 teams to pull an upset in Game 1 to win on the road. That means the Loons can advance to the conference semifinals with a win tonight at Allianz Field. 9 p.m. Eastern, right after us. Minnesota United against the Real Salt Lake team, the 3rd seed in the West, trying to stay alive. Miranchuk broken up by Martinez. Rather bright, and now Miami come forward. Messi, Yannick Bright, David Martinez, and Redondo. Jordi Alba, Gomez. Unable to get around Hernandez, who recovers but concedes a corner. Jordi Alba headed away. Knocked down by Weigand. Jordi Alba again. Kazan backpedaling and will catch. Again, he wants to go quick. Oh, he ran into Redondo. Play on! Goal's open! And it's in! It's been given! It's an outrageous opener for Inter Miami. Kazan is furious.
Redondo
It's
makes a
1-0.
play on it. Redondo makes a play when Brad Guzan throws the ball out in front of him to punt it. You see a dip of the right shoulder and the right leg go out just a step in front of it. Now, does he touch the ball? No, he does not. But watch Redondo's actions. He steps right into it. But because there's no touch, because there's no contact, because Brad Guzan doesn't go through with the leg, the referee allows play to continue. Now VAR is going to have to determine whether or not that is clear and obvious obstruction of the goalkeeper.
Wow. What do you think? There is not contact.
There's no contact. There's no touch of the ball. But there is a move to that. I think the goalkeeper's got to follow through with his leg to show that there is 100% obstruction of that. I think it's very difficult to determine whether or not that's clear and obvious. And it is remarkable to the goalkeeper that has single-handedly got them into this position to let that be the goal. But there's obviously a long look right now from VAR because of the right leg and right tip of the shoulder in movement into the direction of it. I don't think it's clear and obvious. I think the goal's going to stand.
The goal is confirmed. The check is complete. No clear and obvious error. David Martinez has opened the scoring with one of the most bizarre goals that Atlanta United have conceded in this building. They scored a wild one earlier this year to beat Toronto. It was Jamal Charest sneaking up from behind Luka Kevran. Now that was all fair play. Kevran had released the ball. Brad Guzan shaking his head. Rubio Vasquez, you could see, the referee, as Lobjanidze sends that in, and it will be a corner. He immediately was waving his fingers. So he was immediately communicating, I saw that there was no contact. He let it continue in real time. No clear and obvious error found by Chris Penso, the video assistant referee. 1-0 Inter Miami.
If Brad Guzan swings his leg and makes an attempt at the ball, then you can easily determine whether or not Redondo was in his way. But because he does not, it now doesn't become clear and obvious.
So, Atlanta United up against it. Hernandez floating in, Callender running into Charest. Callender caught it, foul given.
And the absolute worst time to give up a goal. Absolute worst time. Those 5 minutes going into halftime. The energy in this building has been big. It's been the 12th man that this team desperately needs. Drake Callender's had to come up with a really good save. They've been unfortunate not to get a goal. Atlanta United have had quality opportunities to have a lead in this game. And yet from the looks of it, their captain, their leader, the guy that has gotten them here, gives them a goal. Stunning.
If Inter Miami win tonight, this series is over. It is a best-of-3 series. Miami won match 1 2-1 8 days ago. And a huge boost towards that goal with the goal from David Martinez 5 minutes before halftime. It's an Atlanta United that have clawed their way to this point. They have been up against it for months since Leagues Cup. And they are once again really up against it. Can they continue to survive? Shalish tries to get it to Lobjanidze. He is unable to.
But you think about the goal that just happened for Inter Miami. You think about the LA Galaxy opening goal where Zach Steffen of the Colorado Rapids cleared it off of Gabriel Peck.
Yeah.
20 yards away from goal, and it deflects into his own goal. Halloween may have ended Wednesday night, but it may still be a full moon in MLS playoffs.
A trick or treat, a treat given to Inter Miami. Atlanta, the victim of the trick in that moment. Tata Martino will not care and will surely be thrilled with right now a 1-0 lead as we're getting close to first half added time. And what was a pretty even first 45 minutes, you have to say. Atlanta United creating chances, certainly more so than they did in game one. Alexei Miranchuk saved by Drake Callender on their best opportunity, their closest opportunity of this first half. Still time for them before halftime. Added time is presented by Audi, a minimum 3 minutes added on to this first half. With 68,000 here at Mercedes-Benz, trying their best to will on Atlanta United, to will them back, but Gomez gets around Hernandez, is pulled down. It'll be the first yellow card of this game two. Ronald Hernandez going into the box.
Well, frustration is now set in, right? Now all of a sudden, Atlanta feels like the goal shouldn't have counted. Gomez gets this little touch. He's by Hernandez. He's left with no decision. He's got to bring him down. But to put a bow on the Braguzan play, if I'm Atlanta United, I'm challenging every goal kick, every punt. You are now, if you as a referee do not blow the whistle there, even if it's there, you are now saying to every player, you know what, you can get away with something a little bit here. And I think that's where there's a real argument for the referee. If he blows the whistle there, they're obviously not going to VAR and challenging it. It's tough.
It's the difference as we are into added time in this first half. Brad Gazan sensing contact that never came, dropping the ball essentially while attempting to punt it forward. Federico Redondo tapping it to David Martinez, who chipped it into an open net.
And you don't have to touch a player to obstruct a player.
I've seen that many times. Fortune Amador into the middle, Allen there. Redondo flicking it on. Schleich settling. Back to Fortune. Fortune! Blocked by Martinez. Aviles was there for Miami as well. Fortune stepping
great
forward.
little step there.
Miranchuk. Hernandez looking for Chare. High into the air from Weigant. Martinez helping it on. Jordi Alba always looking for Lionel Messi, and he finds him 50 yards away. Miami look more than content to take this lead into the locker room. Aviles sends forward, and that is the halftime whistle from Rubio Vasquez, who made the most consequential decision of this series, and it resulted in Inter Miami's opening goal. David Martinez into an open net. Brad Gazan will not agree with the decision. It was ultimately an error from Gazan as it ended up in the goal for Martinez, and a play and a moment that will be hotly debated. Surely in the studio at halftime with Kevin, Sasha, Brad, and Lloyd, and as the week goes on from tonight. But what Miami cares about, goalkeeper Brad Gazan, who kept them in the game in game one. Average positions in the first half, Taylor, first from Inter Miami.
Well, the one thing that stands out to me is when they have the ball, look at how close they are. Now, obviously, the width being provided from Magant and Alba, but if there's no Robert Taylor, there's no Campana. Gomez is really the only vertical threat, and then there's no Busquets on the field, so that means they don't have a ton of the balls playing between the lines. So it makes it easier if you're Atlanta United of saying, listen, we can set up our shape to be aggressive, to not allow them to progress as a unit with the ball at their feet and go forward. That's why I think Amador's got to be a little bit more impactful with the ball. I think Atlanta United got to play down their left. I'm a little surprised at how high up the field Lobjanidze is, because without the ball, if we showed you that graphic, he's defended basically next to Hernandez. I think they've got to get Amador and Lobjanidze a little bit more involved with the ball at their feet.
There is Arthur Blank, the owner of Atlanta United, also the Atlanta Falcons. He built this beautiful building. He built this building not just with the NFL in mind, but also with Major League Soccer, with Atlanta United in mind. And with Tata Martino, the stands were packed in 2017 and in 2018 and then into 2019. They're packed again tonight for this playoff match against Inter Miami. The customary late entrance to the second half from Lionel Messi and crew.
Well, coming out of there, immediately you saw Benjamin Kremaski with his full kit on. And Benjamin Kremaski is at midfield, checking into the game. And I would assume, based on what I've seen on the field, that means it's coming in for Yannick Bright.
Yeah, there's the confirmation. So the one change at halftime, the first one of this match, Kremaski for Bright. What does that tell you about what Tata Martino saw in the first half?
I think Kremaski maybe gives them a little bit more in possession. He still has the same range and still has the bite, but he gives them a little bit more tactical awareness. And at times, he can switch with Gomez if he needs to or wants to. Gives them a little bit more flexibility tactically with the ball.
Second half underway, game two of this round one best of three series. Inter Miami with a 1-0 lead in the series, with a 1-0 lead in this match. As we enter the second half, it is desperation time for Atlanta United and their 2024 season. Inter Miami, if they can hold on, would advance to the conference semifinals. Atlanta need to come back to force a game three. No changes from Atlanta at halftime as McCarty keeps it away from Suarez. Now looks direct for Chare. Allen there for Miami. And Redondo to Weigand. Do you expect any changes from Rob Valentino and Atlanta United's approach in this second?
I think it depends on how long this game goes 1-0. And I think the real indicator will be Lobjanidze and Rano Hernandez. If Hernandez is going to play more as a four in the back with him as a natural fullback, then Lobjanidze is going to be in his more comfortable position playing as an attacking winger.
Kremaski does really well to turn away from McCarty. Now Amador tracking back to defend Suarez. Weigand. Messi. Gomez. David Martinez. Marcelo Weigand. Kremaski left it for Suarez. Fortune able to poke it to Miranchuk. Again, direct immediately towards Chare. Allen chasing after it for Miami. Chare beat him to it. No one's in the middle for him yet. Chare trying to draw a foul. Rubio Vasquez, the referee, says it's all ball.
I'm not so sure about that one.
Now Miami. Gomez running at Hernandez. Alba to his left. Jordi Alba with time. Look for Gomez. Oh! Kazan had to make a save. It came off his teammate. Big reaction from Brad Kazan. Corner for Miami.
Well, that ball's deflected off Hernandez, but this is the foul. That's a foul. Absolutely, 100%. Allen coming in late, doesn't get the ball, takes the legs away from Chare. That ball deflected off Hernandez near post. Good reaction from Brad Kazan. Well, and that's the conversation Dax McCarty's having with the referee while he's also trying to help him with his audio equipment. But you saw it, Jake. He comes in, he gets a touch of the ball, but he goes right through the lower part of Chare's body.
A little equipment adjustment needed for Rubio Vasquez. Asking Ronald Hernandez for help.
Who's got basically a soft cast on his left hand.
All right, ready to go now. And Messi will take this corner. Suarez on the back post. Defended well by Schlich. Weigant, Kremaski, across, nobody was there. Dax McCarty floating it to Lobjanidze, who was so far on the touchline. He was standing in touch when that ball was hit from McCarty. Now it's Dax and now Moranchuk. Amador trying to cut inside. Weigant got a little bit on it. Kremaski came to take it away, but then gives it right back to Atlanta. Williams, no look into Moranchuk. McCarty trying to bounce it out to Lobjanidze. Jordi Alba's there for Miami. And he's going to keep going. Suarez gets it wrong, trying to pop it back out to Jordi Alba. McCarty, big switch, too far for Amador. Williams knocks it down. McCarty. Schlich. Fortune. Jay Fortune. Amador took a deflection. Allen has to send it away. Abram. He will serve. Redondo there. Moranchuk. It's dropped a little deeper. Hernandez and Lobjanidze. Hernandez. Dax McCarty. Luis Abram. Amador. Weigant comes out to take it away. Now into the feet of Messi.
Brahms got to play that ball to Amador a little bit quicker. That's a difficult ball for your left back to then deal with, and now it gets Miami out of trouble.
Suarez, Messi, Suarez, and Kremaski. Miami can set up in possession now. Over the top, Gomez flag down for now. Gomez, Williams slides in. He knocked it away, but the offside flag does come up on Diego Gomez.
Well, the second half hasn't started with that pace the way the first half was for the majority of the game. That was a lot closer than initially thought. Abram was very close to keeping Diego Gomez onside.
Miranchuk, dispossessed by Gomez.
It's this weird tug of war for Atlanta United and their identity. Miranchuk comes in, he's very technical, very clean on the ball, but it's got to be very deliberate with how they go about it. And yet there's 68,000 in this building that want to blow the roof off this building and want to play in transition and want to be electric, and they've got a couple players that can do that tonight. That's Lobjanidze, Chare. It's just this little tug of war that I think in the offseason Garth Lagerwey and company are going to have to figure it out, and the new manager is going to have a lot to say with that.
That expectation was set by Tata Martino. Beautiful ball from Messi. Alba Gomez, swing and a miss. Oh, it was there for him. Maybe just out of his reach. Miami will certainly feel it should be 2-0.
Well, it has to be 2-0. Diego Gomez thinks that Jordi Alba's going to play this a little bit more to him versus out in front of him. But there's everything about that ball that is absolutely perfect. It's less swing of a miss with his feet, and it's more of his brain. I think Diego Gomez, if he makes the run a little bit wider, then the timing's on.
So still just 1-0. Chare. MLS defending. Chare gets around him, draws the foul, draws a yellow card.
"56 minutes, and we barely had to say Tomas Aviles' name, and it is not an Inter Miami game without him being challenged for a yellow card. Chare with a great touch, he's by him, 100% a yellow, and now a very dangerous set piece for Atlanta United. Is it the left foot of Miranchuk or the right foot of Lobjanidze?
He missed 6 matches in the regular season through suspension. Tomas Aviles, 2 for red card suspension, 4 for yellow card accumulation. Picks up his first yellow of the playoffs. Drake Callender setting the wall. It will be Lobjanidze. It's just 2 in the wall. Kremaski and Jordi Alba. Lobjanidze right into the wall and out. Looked like for a deep throw. Jordi Alba will need a moment. Took it right in the side. McCarty popping it up. Weigant knocking it down. Aviles sending clear. These are the team benches built by the Home Depot. Stian Gregerson, a week in, week out starter at center back, came out of game 1 with an injury, hamstring injury. Able to dress, able to be on the bench tonight, but could not start. Meanwhile, for Inter Miami, Julian Gressel on the bench again, just for the 5th time this season in the building where he won MLS Cup, as Lobjanidze wins a corner for Atlanta. Miranchuk comes over to take, goes short to Lobjanidze. Now he sends it in over Callender. Nobody there for Atlanta, defended well by Allen with Abram on his back. Amador Dangerous ball! Headed in! It's Derek Williams! It's hope for Atlanta United in 2024. Even Arthur Blank loves it. 1-1 in game 2.
They had to make some big decisions in the middle of their season to sell players, move on from them. Thiago Almada being the biggest name, but quietly Caleb Wiley didn't get enough reaction, and yet they had to go find out, do we have a left foot? Can we get one? Amador's come in here and absolutely been spot on with his delivery in the MLS Cup playoffs. A wonderful left foot, his third assist, and a great finish from the center back, Derek Williams. It is 1-1, 69,000 just woke up. Game on.
It's Derek Williams' first goal of this season. He did not score in the regular season. And for Pedro Amador, the left back, brought in as a backup to Caleb Wiley. Ended up being a starter and brought in with the thought of being a little more defensive-minded of a player than Caleb Wiley. He has 7 assists in his last 9 games now for Atlanta United.
But they're not 7 assists that you're like, okay, ho-hum. There's 7 legit crosses, final deliveries with touch, with pace. Jordi Alba on one side since June 1st has had 4 goals, 14 assists in the last 9 games for Atlanta United. Amador with 7. Both left backs have shown up in the playoffs. And what a timely one that was for Atlanta United.
And all of a sudden, Atlanta still alive. Game on in match 2, series on in round 1. Atlanta need to win today to force a game 3 next week in South Florida. That includes winning a penalty shootout if it's tied after 90 minutes. We saw last night Charlotte FC do that against Orlando City in the 4-5 match in the East. Scoreless draw in regulation, winning the penalty shootout, forcing a game 3 in Orlando next weekend. Still a long way to go in regulation, but a massive moment for Atlanta United. They have been up against it for a couple months, and that was not the expectation to begin this season. But in the summer, when they sold Thiago Almada and Yorgos Giacomakis and Caleb Wiley, it did feel like, well, the team's back in limbo, and it's about 2025. Maybe not. They made the playoffs in improbable fashion. Wild card game in Montreal, up 2-0, then conceding twice, going to penalties on the road, but winning that penalty shootout to make it here to the series against Miami. They're now looking for more. Lobjanidze overlapping, across Calendar, big touch, still there! Fortune! Oh, he missed!
Well, if Rob Valentino had any hair, he'd be pulling it out right now. You can't make the same run. Both Chore and Fortune make the same run, so that limits the first ball in for Lobjanidze. But how about the composure from the young player to pull away from the goalkeeper, but then pull it just wide of the goal? But that initial ball from Lobjanidze, if Chore goes near post, Fortune's got to go far, then it's 2-1 Atlanta.
After conceding one of the most bizarre goals that we'll see this season, and certainly in the playoffs, just before halftime to go down 1-0, Atlanta United seemingly have found their belief again in this second half.
Well, if you turned on the game, you'd be sitting here saying Atlanta United's dominating possession. It's almost 50-50. That is not what a lot of people expected, including myself. And some of that is Busquets not being on the field, right? So Miami don't have the metronome to play through it, but Rob Valentino and Atlanta United have to smell blood in the water. You would have to think at some point Muyumba comes into this game to give them a little bit more sauce coming out of the midfield. But I'm not sure I'm rolling the dice just yet, because right now there is a real momentum shift in this game for the red and black.
Miranchuk knocked forward. Aviles sends it away. Messi takes it off of Williams. Williams holds him up. He's going to go into the book. Miami tried to play quick as the yellow was out. They're unable to. It's Derek Williams' second yellow card of the playoffs. The yellow card accumulation threshold in the postseason is 3, and it resets after the conference semifinals. You cannot be suspended for the conference finals. Because of the math, and because no one on Inter Miami picked up a yellow in game 1, they're all clear from that. There's no possibility of having a player suspended because of yellow card accumulation. Derek Williams, though, if Atlanta can pull off something crazy, now could be looking at the possibility, if he picks up another one, say in a game 3 of missing a conference semifinal. Atlanta would love to be in that situation. There's no doubt about it. Messi in behind Suarez.
A lot of time.
A lot of time.
A lot of time for Atlanta United to get into that conversation, and they know it.
Suarez over to Weigand.
And how big is that opportunity early in the second half, where Alba played the ball across the face of the goal and Diego Gomez couldn't get a touch on it. It goes 2-0, then this building and this energy is completely zapped. Now listen to this.
We'll stay on MLS Season Pass for MLS wrap-up immediately following the nightcap tonight. Minnesota United hosting Real Salt Lake. Kramaski didn't get it right to Suarez or Weigand.
Just frustrated, aren't they? A little bit. You can see the arms being thrown up in the air from Messi and Suarez. Kramaski trying to play the real difficult ball into Weigand, where Redondo was probably the right decision there.
Game 1 was lopsided. It ended 2-1. Brad Gazan had to make 8 saves. Tata Martino called it their best performance against Atlanta United since he rejoined Inter Miami, and that includes a blowout in last year's League's Cup. He thought they were so good and so comfortable. Tonight has been very different. The chances have been even. Both teams have those big moments that they will certainly rue, whether it be Gomez not getting on the end of the ball from Jordi Alba, whether it be Jay Fortune missing that open net. What a ball from Messi. Jordi Alba! Over. All they need is an instant. Inter Miami, and it was almost in that moment.
Well, all they need is to just allow Lionel Messi to do what he can do. I mean, look at where he is. Look at the numbers. Look at the space he sees. Yet his best friend from Barcelona, Jordi Alba, is the only one that really sees that before anyone else. Jordi Alba easily in this game could have a goal and assist.
Now again, Atlanta on the ball, trying to find a second goal. Lobjanidze cutting inside. He wanted a foul that wasn't given. Aviles to Suarez, tried to flick it on to Weigand. Miami wants a handball. Again, play continues. Amador and Schlich. Trying to get it into the feet of Miranchuk, who holds off Martinez. Lobjanidze. Miranchuk and Schlich. Hernandez. Miranchuk over the top. Fortune couldn't get on the end of it.
Miami's got to be careful, though, Jake. They've got to be careful. Moranchuk loves to float in and out of that space. And he has shown the ability to play any kind of ball with that left foot. They've got to be careful to allow him to turn 25, 26 yards from goal and just pick up his head and try to find the right ball.
A Miami team that took 22 shots in game one. They accumulated over 3 expected goals in that game. They have just 5 shots tonight. What do they need to do in the attack and possession to create more opportunities?
The problem is their shots have been real quality, though.
Yes.
And Diego Gomez doesn't count as a shot, right? So they've gotten in good spots. The opportunity that just happened with Messi and Alba, it's a little perplexing that Yannick Bright's come onto this game because it feels like the balance is off with Kremaski coming in. But they have found their opportunities when their best players get on the ball in the critical moments. There's still 20-plus minutes left in this game. You will be shocked if Messi doesn't have one of those golden opportunities.
Marcelo Weigant behind Kremaski. Williams knocking it away. Weigant will chase it down. Kremaski. Messi. Gomez. Suarez! Kazan the save.
You just got to be careful. You can't allow Messi to pick up his head. Good run from Gomez to actually win that, but knock it down for Suarez to hit it first time. You just knew that the 40-year-old was going to show up after giving up the blunder that he did in the first half. You knew Brad Guzan was going to show up the way he has in the last 3 do-or-die games. Big time save on that near post.
He's had a couple moments in the second half. Messi, near post.
Oh my goodness.
It hit the crossbar. I think it came off Charé.
Oh, it absolutely did. It absolutely did.
It's another corner.
And Charé's grabbing his wrist because he ran in behind the goal, but what an opportunity that was.
Suarez, quickly,
oh
Messi!
My goodness!
Near post, just wide.
Atlanta United's got to pay attention here. They are shell-shocked. Watch this ball whipped in the near post. Charé gets a little bit of a deflection off the bar, back across, then the ensuing corner, direct ball into Messi, just misses near post as Tristan Muyumba comes in for Dax McCarty.
Well, is this the last we'll see of Dax McCarty on a professional soccer pitch? He's played the 3rd most games all time in MLS history. He will retire after this season. He goes 71 minutes in this game 2 of this round 1 best-of-3 series. Tristan Muyumba, the substitute who comes on for the final 20 minutes and added time.
Well, Martinez is holding his head. I'm wondering if he's going to go down and have...
yeah,
he's got a cut. There you go.
Blood. And that will need, of course, to be treated by Inter Miami's athletic training staff and their medical staff. There's Dax. What a career Dax McCarty has had. 19 seasons in Major League Soccer. 33 playoff games now. Will there be a 34th for Dax? Or will this be it? We'll find out over the next 20 to 30 minutes.
I'm going to go back to the tying goal from Atlanta United because oftentimes you hear about set-piece defending and you've got to worry not about the first ball that's whipped in, but you got to worry about the second phase defending. And as this ball is cleared out, there's no pressure on the ball from Amador, and yet that is 4 Atlanta United attacking players that are free with only 2 Inter Miami defenders around that. Difficult moments there. That has got to be cleaner, but what a ball that was from Amador, and sometimes you just got to tip your cap and say he was better in the moment.
These are the match rankings presented by Target. Rarely do you see a center back topping the expected goals match rankings, but it is Derek Williams, who also had a decent chance off his head in the first half that he put just wide.
And this is where you've got to watch the game and watch the replays and understand that Diego Gomez had the best opportunity the entire game, but because he didn't make contact with the ball and the shot didn't hit the target, therefore it doesn't register. But Derek Williams with a clinical finish. And I just got word, finally, why Yannick Bright was taken out of the game. It is a hamstring.
Okay.
So that is why they were forced to make that move with Kremaski coming in.
And that is something that Tata Martino will have to deal with, as Yannick Bright has earned a starting spot pretty much week in, week out, game in, game out for him. Well, it's the two center backs that have scored the goals today. Derek Williams and David Martinez, who got his head wrapped. He's coming back out into the pitch now. Martinez's goal 5 minutes before halftime after a mistake from Atlanta goalkeeper Brad Kazan going to punt the ball forward. He felt Federico Redondo next to him. He thought there was going to be contact. There wasn't any. He simply dropped the ball, and it was an open net for Martinez to put it into. After a little bit of a video review check, the call on the field stood of a good goal. But Atlanta has come out in the second half with belief, and the match momentum shows that. That big chunk of red after the tying goal even, they've been on the front foot. Now we will see the last 15 minutes of this story in game 2 still to be written.
But where the game was so impactful was the last 5 into the halftime and first 5 out. Inter Miami easily could have been up 2-0. One the gift from Guzan, the other one with Diego Gomez opportunity. But since then, Jake, you're right, spot on. This has been Atlanta United's game. And good luck against him.
Kremaski. Weigand. Blocked by Amador.
See, the problem is you and I have done how many games where the other team's good.
Yeah, you have to be perfect.
For 75, 80 minutes. Yet for 10, Miami's better.
Can Atlanta avoid that moment? The moment that so often with Inter Miami has seemed inevitable over the past year and a half. Can they survive? Can they find their own? Or take it to penalties? Gomez, Jordi Alba. Fortune steps in. Chare turning away from Allen, pushing it into space, off and running. Noah Allen recovers really well, shoulder to shoulder.
Unreal.
The call.
Unreal. Chare had a step, maybe 2. Noah Allen ran him down. Chare's still down, holding his ankle. I mean, he's got him. He's by him. Noah Allen comes back, retreats, wins the ball, no foul. Just has really grown into a solid player that you can count on. And I get it. The headlines are the stars and Suarez and Messi and Busquets and Alba. But yet, how they complete the roster with players like Bright and Allen and others, they're not winning the Supporters' Shield. They're not setting the record for most points in a regular season in MLS history if players like that aren't showing up in the right moments.
Chare still down, holding on to that left calf. Noah Allen actually clocked this season as Inter Miami's fastest player. 21.6 miles per hour, 20-year-old. Now look, it's not a team of speedsters.
I was just going to say, hang on a minute. Who is he racing? Busquets, Messi, and Suarez? Come on.
Yeah, that was more than that on the team. Everybody is tracked now in Major League Soccer, and it is Noah Allen who showed off his pace in that moment to go shoulder to shoulder with Jamal Chare and win the ball for Inter Miami in a moment of potential danger. Those two players in that foot race in this game clocked as the two fastest players tonight. Chare's night is done. He will come off. Daniel Rios will come on. That's the second change from Rob Valentino in this game too. The change that is so common. It's the 5th straight match that Daniel Rios has come off the bench, the 5th straight match that Jamal Chare has started. And in game 1 with both on the pitch, they will not end game 2 that way. Amador behind Abram. Those numbers tell a pretty accurate story. Now, as Taylor, as you said a lot, the best chance for Miami tonight outside of their goal was a moment that won't show up on the stat sheet because Diego Gomez was unable to get a shot away. Miami have not been able to create the volume or the quality of chances tonight that they did in match 1. Aviles, Weigand, Redondo, Gomez. Martinez, Kremaski, now Jordi Alba. Redondo, Kremaski. Still Kremaski. Gets it to Weigand. Weigand floating. He was looking for Messi. It was Hernandez who heads it away for Atlanta. Martinez now leaves for Jordi Alba. Jordi Alba in Suarez. Trying a little bit of acrobatics. Was not going to come off. And now Atlanta can push forward and maybe catch Miami. Caught up the pitch. They've recovered well. Here's Schleich. Rios. Bartosz Schleich, direct for Rios, making a run behind. Callender on the short hop, holds on. Messi. Carrying forward, still Messi. Schleich breaks it up. Kazan sends it away. Jordi Alba, Luis Suarez, Lionel Messi. Kremaski, Weigand, Redondo, Messi, Martinez, Gomez. I think he was trying to leave it for Messi, but Suarez was there. Jordi Alba towards Messi. Schleich intervenes. Still there for Miami. Alba floated in. Abram heads away. Finally, Atlanta get it forward. Rios trying to hold off Allen. Play on, says Rubio Vasquez, the referee. Luis Suarez. Kremaski wins a corner. Brad Kazan giving instructions. Lionel Messi to serve a corner in the 83rd minute of a 1-1 game 2.
Daniel Rios on this near post, extremely important.
Again to the near post. Rios does well to head that away. Messi will get another chance. Driven in. Williams, the one there for Atlanta this time. Moranchuk just dumps it forward. Allen there for Miami. Suarez cuts inside.
You want to know what Tata Martino's thinking? Campana and Rojas are coming into this game.
Let's go win the game, huh?
Why wouldn't you?
Yeah, let's not go to pens.
It's not do or die from Miami, so why not go for it?
Messi. Still Messi. Cuts it across. Gomez, it was blocked. Messi! Oh, it's over. What a chance for Lionel Messi to put Miami ahead. And he missed.
Well, he threw everybody off, including the 68,000 plus in the building, by going to his right foot. He cuts it to his right, and he plays a good ball into Gomez. And just the presence of Abraham right in front of him had to force Messi to be a little bit more perfect and blown it over the bar.
So the two changes now from Tata Martino. Matias Rojas on. Diego Gomez off. And Leo Campana on. Noah Allen off. So he's taken off Noah Allen, who has played in the middle of a three in the back for this match, and he's brought on a striker.
Yep, they'll go four in the back. Alba and Wagantz will play as the fullbacks. Martinez and Aviles plays the center backs. Noah Allen was really good on the night. Really good.
Mentioned win it in regulation. Also, if you are staring at penalties, you've got a couple theoretically really good penalty takers who you've now brought into the game.
But it has the feeling almost to that game in Toronto that set up the regular season finale where they set the record.
Yep.
And that's what has impressed me the most about Leonardo Campana. You could argue on 20 of the 29 teams he's starting. Yet on this team he's not, and yet to come up with 8 goals, 4 of those game-winning goals, to have the mental fortitude to believe in yourself, would not surprise me 1 second if he gets an opportunity here to put this thing away.
Suarez, Weigant, Messi, clipping it in, headed away. Moranchuk brought it down. Miami thought it was a handball. It wasn't given. Rios with Aviles on his back. He wants a foul. He's upset. Rubio Vasquez, the referee says play on. Rojas. Big switch to Jordi Alba. Hernandez pokes it away. Martinez, now Suarez. Hernandez defends that well.
I mean, the last 5 minutes, Atlanta United have all defended inside their 18.
Redondo will cover.
Ball.
Yeah, does really well, not just to send that back to Callender.
Yeah, but it's also Daniel Rios. There's no reason to run to Drake Callender. You allow Redondo to play out of that.
Now they get it over to Jordi Alba. Campana looking for Suarez. Abraham breaks it up. Kremaski. Suarez. Rojas for Jordi Alba, leaving it. He was trying to find Messi again. Atlanta ready for the cutback. They defended it well. Now it's a little open for them. Fortune, oh, he was trying to find Moranchuk. Martinez slid in to win it.
Yeah, but Miami you can't lose it, though. You've got to be perfect. And instead of trying to play that home run ball, why not keep possession? Take the sting out of the game. Instead, now you're defending in transition.
And Jordi Alba, Messi leaving it, Campana. Messi again.
Watch out.
Time. Messi blocked by Williams. Rojas. Messi and Martinez stepping forward. Into the feet of Suarez. Leaves for Messi. Suarez a swing and a miss. Schleich just sending it forward. They want Rios to hold it up, and he does.
Lobajanidze's on.
There's room. And
oh, wow.
Moyumba instead going to Amador. He sends that ball. And Jordi Alba's upset, barking at one of his teammates. It's a throw for Atlanta. It's almost feeling now like it did a month and a half ago in this building.
Yes,
at the end of that game.
It did.
When it was so open, it was so stretched.
But my word, it's been a long time since the Benz has everybody in this building standing up.
Rojas. Messi, poke away from Fortune, carrying forward. Was looking for Campana. Hernandez was there. Moranchuk.
I mean, all it takes is, and I make it sound simple, but for those watching globally on Apple TV, all it takes is 2 or 3 passes to combine, and you're going to have a ton of space. Both teams attacking with 5, defending with 5.
Rojas, Fortune breaks it up. Williams, he wanted to go direct.
That's
instead.
the kind of ball you need. Now one
Finds
more ball and
Rios.
you're in.
Over to Lobjanidze, Moranchuk in the middle. Lobjanidze with Alba defending. Lobjanidze near post wins a corner.
Unreal, unreal. Both teams putting it on the line. It's MLS Cup playoffs. It's do or die for the home team. Rob Valentino trying to roll the dice in his favor. Xande Silva coming in. Jay Fortune coming out. Some of the young players really putting in a shift tonight. But can the big money player, Alexei Moranchuk, deliver that final ball to give Atlanta hope for Game 3?
Season on the line for Atlanta. Rios knocking it down. Lobjanidze! Off the ball! Schliess's follow is over. Inches away from winning it potentially in regulation.
I mean, right on cue, the perfect ball from Moranchuk. Rios flicks it to the back post. And every single time Atlanta United and Inter Miami come together, it is Saba time, except Drake Callender says, no, sir. You may have 4 goals in 3 games against us, but not tonight. That is a big-time save from Drake Callender.
Pushed off the bar by Drake Callender. His second really big moment tonight. Moranchuk in the first half, saving Lobjanidze in the final minutes before added time. Still 1-1. Messi, Silva from behind taking it away. If it ends 1-1 at the final whistle, it goes straight to penalties.
I'll be shocked if this one ends 1-1 right now.
Look at the room. It's open for both teams. Jordi Alba to Rojas. Tried to get it through to Suarez.
Oh my
Abram then
goodness.
gives it away.
I mean, both teams shockingly bad with really no pressure on them in these moments.
Added time is presented by Audi. There will be a minimum 5 minutes left. A minimum 5 minutes before a potential penalty shootout. Rojas. Silva poked it away. Martinez clipped in towards Campana. High in the air off of Williams. Schliess helps it on. Kremaski fouls Lobjanidze. If it goes to penalties, the winner of the penalty shootout considered the winner of this game 2. If Atlanta, that forces a Game 3 in Florida next Saturday. If Miami, then the series is over. A sweep for Inter Miami. And Inter Miami on to the conference semis. Not do or die tonight for Inter Miami. It is for Saba Lobjanidze and Atlanta United. A minimum 4 minutes of added time left to try to find a winner in regulation, or else their season comes down to a penalty shootout for the second time in less than 2 weeks. The heat map is presented by Celsius, official energy drink partner of MLS. He's been playing as a right wing back today, and the heat map shows that. Up and down.
Nearly
right
7 miles covered from Lobjanidze. And what's interesting about this, we didn't show it to you in the first half, but the second half has made that graphic a little bit further. Here's an opportunity.
Moranchuk. Martinez takes it away.
Great defending from Martinez. Just to poke that away, but Moranchuk's still on here.
He's going to get another chance. Lobjanidze out wide. Oh, back towards Moranchuk. Missed him. Hernandez to clean it up. Schliess, Moranchuk, Ronald Hernandez, now Lobjanidze. Now he's going to run. Trying to get it over to Moranchuk.
Oh my goodness.
Handball's not given, and now there's room for Inter Miami. It's a 4-on-4 if they go fast enough. Suarez will slow it down to Messi. Rojas. Messi. Rojas. Clipped over. Messi the header! The flag is up. He's offside.
Oh, and I felt like this was difficult. I think that ball absolutely 100% hits the right arm of Redondo, and yet the referee allows play to continue, and that play gets all the way down to this point where Messi's a yard offside. But that's difficult because that handball there in Redondo is a left-footed free kick at the end of the game for Moranchuk. That's difficult.
Clearly offside, Lionel Messi.
And clearly a handball.
Yep. Handball not given, the offside correctly given. Bartosz Szlisz also was shown a yellow card in that stoppage. Will there be another chance? Rios, Muyumba, Moranchuk, Xande Silva! They're alive! Atlanta lives! Surely forcing Game 3 in this round 1 best-of-3 series. They're going back to South Florida.
Moving and grooving, Atlanta United have been all over the place in this second half, putting pressure on Inter Miami and Drake Callender. But if Weigand's not going to step to Xande Silva, then Drake Callender is going to have to dive, turn around, and grab the ball out of the back of the net. Because guess what? It's 2-1. Atlanta United in front of 70,000 at the Benz. You've got to believe, and Rob Valentino believed 10 days ago that they could win 3 games on the road. And guess what? 2 of those they did, and they may be going on the road again for Game 3. Wow!
It's rocking in the Benz. The clock has been turned back 5 years. Messi sends it forward. Still work to do. Williams. Kazan tried to keep that from being a corner. Was he able to? He was. Really important. Suarez thought it went out.
As bad of a play as it was for Kazan to drop it to Inter Miami at the end of the first half, that may have been the best play he's ever made. And I got to go back to it. Diego Gomez scores.
Yep.
It's 2-0. This thing's over. My word, it has been a long time, Jake, since I've been in this building. And not a single person here is sitting down. MLS is so much better with Atlanta United in this way, in this style, with this energy.
They had to win their final 2 games of the regular season to even make the playoffs. They were in 12th place in the East entering decision day. Well, they have forced a Game 3 in round 1 against Inter Miami, against the Supporter Shield winners. They didn't know.
They're still playing.
They're still playing, but it is over. The final whistle went 30 seconds ago. Arthur Blank knows. Atlanta know. It is a Cinderella story for Atlanta United. And the slipper's still on for now. Xande Silva, the hero. A player who is dealing with injuries, who lost his starting spot, who comes on as a substitute and scores one of the biggest goals that Atlanta United has scored in years. They have the back of their goalkeeper who had their back all match 1. Dax will get another game, and we'll see you next Saturday in Miami. What a win for Atlanta.
The seed was planted in that game. In game one, Messi had 8 shots, Miami had 22. That Atlanta United was not going to go down without a fight because their goalkeeper, their captain, their 40-year-old leader said, we are going to go down swinging. We wanted Orlando to get in. We won in the play-in game at Montreal. We're going to do something because this group has to make up for what was a trying regular season, and they did. As good as any. And the player